you, babe. 'Cause I'm so addicted to you. This must be love. 'Cause I can't get enough of your loving. I'm so addicted. Can't stop. I need you right now, baby. 'Cause I'm so addicted to you. You're always on my mind, my mind, my mind, every day. It's been too long, since I had you in my arms, and I don't know if I can take any more of being without you. Even though it's only been an hour, it feels to me just like forever. And I am hoping that I can see you soon. I'm so addicted. Lord have mercy. I can't be without you, baby. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah. I see you, Dawn. Slick J Adams. Good morning. Come on. You're listening to the Book of Dawn. Good morning. You're listening to the Book of Dawn. This morning. You're listening to the Book of Dawn. Good morning. You're listening to the Book of Dawn. Are you ready for the truth? And nothing but the truth, so help you, Dawn. She's bringing it to you every weekday at 9 in the morning. So if you wanna hear the real, this is what you gotta do. Just log online and listen to Dawn speak her mind. You're listening to the Book of Dawn. In the morning, you're listening to the Book of Dawn. This morning, you're listening to the Book of Dawn. This morning, you're listening to the Book of Dawn. You're now tuned in to Dawn. Oh, sexy Dawn.
What's in it for the black people media? Or as I always like to say, what's in it for the light-skinned black people? We gang in here today. Welcome back. You're tuned into the Book of Dawn, broadcasting live from the What's in it for the Black People Media Studios. Nephew, just come make sure, because I don't see the squiggly charge line.
It's not charging?
I don't know. I'm going to talk fast. Yeah, just make sure. I'm sorry for that. But I'm going to have you back for, we had offline conversations about several other things. Let's talk about something that works my last nerve. Let's talk about fashion etiquette. You are changing understanding of fashion etiquette in the community.
Well, actually, this Saturday, I have a collaboration that I'm doing with the NAACP Westside branch, and I'm teaching a 4-week class on Saturdays, and fashion etiquette will be a part of that. So it is a fashion lab, although it's just not all about, looking good and putting on pretty clothes. It's about feeling good. It's about feeling good with your next step in life. What will that be? How do you get there? It's about what is it that you have that maybe you don't know you have, that's a business already that's sitting inside of you, and maybe it's not fashion, but we want to take a pretty fashionable approach to entrepreneurship and just living your best life. And so it's for young adults, it's for young teens and adults up to the age of 24. Once again, it's for the West Side. Sometimes West Siders are treated like stepchildren. People are like, Barbara, you from the West Side?
You from Vietnam?
You don't look like that. I was like, oh, I didn't really know that there was a look. But yeah, so we're doing that. Of course, I've done fashion classes like, most of my career. But this one will be kind of special to me because I am collaborating with NAACP. So I'm looking forward to it. And there's a lot to be said about, fashion etiquette. It's
sure.
Some things we just when you don't know, you just don't know, right? right?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. And so, as a maven, a trailblazer, a visionary, and a legend in the industry, from Chicago's West Side, when you see women and ladies, we talked about slips last week, and they talked about me because I still have slips.
That's okay.
And but I would rather have a slip than you see my whole girlfriend down there. And so how do we?
That one is difficult. That one could be difficult, and you may have to, you'd have to, young people, they really love the young entertainers, the ones with the foul mouths and the big butts, and there's something about that they like and they gravitate towards, and maybe that just comes from just not knowing. Mm-hmm. But when we talk about etiquette and just knowing things, I think about leggings. When leggings, a legging to me was like a really skinny sort of a pant or a tight that you wore underneath something. You have a nice crop boot, but there's something that went over it so there wasn't guts and butts showing. But now a legging is, it's like a pair of opaque tights that you wear out on the street.
It's see-through.
You got your panty line showing in the back, and it's all crunched up inside your butt. It's not a pretty look. So if you're going to go out and pay for that new butt that you're going to get, let folks know that the doctor who did it did a smooth job. Wear something that's smooth and clean, and we don't have to see we don't have to see it. It doesn't have to be a sheer pant. There's something about that sheer look that they're loving too. Don't go down to Miami. Yeah. I mean, it's like butt naked. So, I don't know if I'm old now. Yeah.
No, you're not
old.
It's
just not cute, but
it's not cute.
Yeah.
It's not cute.
So there's all kind of fashion etiquette. Fashion etiquette is meet Barbara Bates. You got to give back. You got to give back to the fashion community. That's fashion etiquette. Mm-hmm. When you're doing better, you got to go back and you got to give back to somebody who needs it. You got to tell people, the designers, hey, can you tell me where you got that fabric from? Sure, I can. It's not like a secret. There's nothing I'm going to hold on to. Can you tell me how I can get tailors? Can you tell me how did you do that ruching on that piece of leather? You got to share information with people. It's not for you to keep. It's not just for you. It's for you to share. Yeah. That's a part of fashion etiquette.
Well, how about that's a part of life that most people don't understand because we're so busy harboring this. You're not being a blessing to anybody, not even yourself, because the more you give, actually, that's how you actually receive, not in money and profit, but in life and in survival. And in surviving, you have experienced cancer and are a living, breathing example that you knew that you, in your mind and in your heart and in God's will, still had work to do. Tell me about your experience with cancer.
So in 2009, 1 week after my youngest son was, convicted of a nonviolent low-level drug offense, he was sent off to a federal prison. And I was at home that weekend, just like, crying and rocking myself in the bed, just like, oh, we're going to get through this. It's devastating, but I know we're going to get through it. And as I wrapped my arms around myself, I felt a lump in my breast. I really didn't think anything about it because I thought that black women didn't get breast cancer. White women got it, women with big breasts. So I wasn't really worried about it. But I told it to a friend, and she says, I think you need to go have it checked out. I did. I went and had it checked out, and it turned out that I had stage 3 breast cancer. And I was devastated, just numbed. I didn't know, I'm not ready to die. Am I going to die? And so it was very, very scary. But I had an incredible support system. My pastor, Dr. Horace Smith, and his wife. My pastor is actually a hematologist over at Northwestern. He was able to send my treatment there. I have girlfriends that made it their business to show up at every single chemo treatment, even when I would give them the wrong day, because I just wanted to be by myself sometime on it. I just needed to be by myself to figure it out, and they just weren't going to have it. They were there every step of the way, my family. So I had a really huge support system, and actually Facebook, I had just joined Facebook, and I posted that I just got diagnosed today with breast cancer. And I received so many prayers, and I remember one from a Kevin Whalen, who is a jazz aficionado, a jazz person here in Chicago, and he prayed a prayer. And after that, he must have prayed for just so much peace, because I started having peace to go through all of the treatment that I had to go through. Mm-hmm. I'm somebody who I've never had a toothache, so to have breast cancer, it was quite devastating to me. So I had a lumpectomy, and I had chemotherapy and radiation, and then another year of a liquid chemotherapy, and that was in 2009, and on June 1st, I'm celebrating 12 years of being cancer-free.
Yay. Really?
Yeah.
Praise God. And let me tell you something. It is factual. Oh, take a bow. It is factual that the prayer of the righteous availeth much. But you have to believe, right? The Bible says faith without works is dead. So
that was all that I had was the faith. Because it happened like in a 7-day period from, my son going away, business falling apart, and then this. I was like, whoa. But I never lost faith at all. I really didn't. I was just vigilant, and I couldn't pray for myself because I couldn't find the words to say. I was just too lost and in a fog. But so many people prayed for me.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, right? And then I don't have to? Okay, cool. You mentioned, and we talked offline about that. That's a double whammy, for your son to be convicted young for no reason. A good, strong mother.
Well, there's reason. There's reason. So let me just say that what they said he did, I'm sure he did most of it, or if not all of it, but it was a nonviolent, low-level drug offense. But at the same time, the time that they are giving young black men and women has nothing to do with the crime that they've done. Yeah. And that's where the fight comes in at. Mm-hmm. That people who do crimes that are much worse, and I don't want to go and nitpick what they are, they receive so much less time. And to take and put that kind of time on someone for, conspiracy, that's unbelievable. And we have hundreds, thousands of young people that have time put on them that, they can't give back. They have to serve that time in federal prisons.
Yeah. And on the flip side, police officers, that whole nother conversation, right? They can shoot folks and do less time.
Right.
But he is home now.
He's home.
I'm excited about that.
Thank you.
Having experienced both of those essentially in the same week, what would have killed most people really allowed you to be still and then fight for your own survival, for your son's survival, but for so many others, because post and during your cancer, you started partnering with organizations and raising funds. Tell us about your walk that you do.
So I'm good for parlaying bad situations into
that's that West Side
causes. Yeah, I guess that's just, I'm pretty good for that. So after I finished my treatment, then I decided that women needed to know how prevalent it was, because, people were calling me saying, girl, I just finished with breast cancer, or I have it now. And I was getting so many phone calls from people who were talking to me about breast cancer who I knew personally, but they had kept it close to their heart. They didn't share it. Now, I tell all my business and yours too. So for me, it was, just to I don't know where my help's going to come from. So that's why I'm going to tell everybody, because I don't know what's going to happen here. But as I saw that it was so prevalent, I thought that I'm intelligent, but I didn't know I should have been running and getting mammograms, because I didn't really know that I was at risk. So I think it's important that I go into my community and I put that word out. So I did a fashion show, and all the models were breast cancer survivors.
I love that.
And the money went to Northwestern, which is where I had the fashion show at. But they weren't allowed to keep the money. I told them that, even though I partnered with them, that the money would have to go to an inner city hospital because they had more than enough money.
Sure. And
so we decided to pick Mount Sinai Hospital, which was the hospital that's right across the street from where I live, that when you pass it, I'm like, if anything happens to me, don't take me there. All they do is just kill us in the community. But after learning more about the hospital, I learned that, it was once the hospital that served, wealthy Jewish people in the community, and they were 100 years old when they stayed there, and they are one of the critical units in Chicago right now, and they're doing a lot of work in the community that we wouldn't know about unless we were attached that way.
Sure.
So the first $50,000 went to a program called Helping Her Live, where they go out into the community and bring women into the hospital to get their mammograms. And then after that, the president of the hospital called and said, hey, I'd like to make a deal for you. If you could raise $500,000 in 5 years, then we'll name a breast imaging center after you. And I was like, beat it, buddy. I don't have any interest in any of that. But after courting me for a few months, I decided to say yes. So that's when we started doing fundraising, and we did the Walk Where You Live, and we waitressed at restaurants, and we sold candy, and we did a few more fashion shows. And after like the fourth year, we raised $640,000 with a generous $250,000 donation from an anonymous person who said that if I put my name on it, that they would do that. And the breast imaging center should have opened last year, but because of COVID, it was put back. And so we've got about 2 more months, and we'll have a ribbon cutting for.
I am so excited about that. I got chills. Not just because you survived, but because you stayed where you're from. Like, you didn't let the success and the hurdles take you out of your space. A lot of us get a few bucks, get a little popularity, and pew, gone down wherever you moved to. And you chose intentionally to stay in your community and continue fighting for the people in your community while servicing the entire world. And that takes courage that a lot of us, the look back part is the difficult part, but it seems like you use that peep of the rear view to make certain to know where to go in the future.
I do. And Dawn, you know better than me, and I'll have to say it. I mean, our people get on my last nerve sometime a whole lot.
Amen.
You already know they can.
Full church.
Well, we don't want those other folks talking about them, though. We could talk about them and call them this and call them that, because we know how they can be real rambunctious.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, some people have never seen better and they don't know better. So it is up to somebody. If you can go out and touch somebody, it is up to you to do that. And a lot of times I'll get these big ideas in my head and I don't really know how it's going to happen. And I always go back to my friends who can make it happen. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not a woman of means, even though I'm doing beautiful clothing and this and that. You know, I still have to work hard. I still know what a shut-off notice looks like. I know about all those kind of things. So it's important for me to just keep it moving, just keep it moving. You know, just keep going and just doing the right thing. That doing the right thing is kind of like my T-shirt motto: doing the right thing.
Yeah. Well, you are. So let me flip what you said. You're not a woman of worldly means, but your worth is so much greater. There's you're unmatched and unparalleled in what you do, because I know other people from that same circle, not so much making an impression. But I think your dedication to your community and to the accountability that you hold yourself to. We sometimes often lose sight and put ourselves here. I've been there, done that. That doesn't make you know all the answers. Whether you've been there and done it, it still doesn't make you know all the answers. And what you have always been is humble enough to say, I didn't do that right. Let me fix it. Or, no, we should do it this way. Another thing that I love about you is that when I have given you some crazy ideas, like, I think this would be cute. Nephew, this is her face. I'm glad you do, but I'm not making that. Because there are so many sellouts for the money, and that you've never done. So I
did it early on. I think I made a prom dress for a goldfish. I think I did. I had to make clothes for people for Jerry Springer show, over 600 pounds. I've had to do things to get the bills paid, but as I've moved along, some money is not good money. And so I've just decided the headache I'd rather not have, not at this stage of my life.
Yeah, no, this is your greater. Now I have to give you, that fashion course, is it booked?
Yeah, it's already booked.
Okay.
It's actually filled already. I'm hoping that I would be able to do one in collaboration with someone else or my own, and that I don't have to say that you have to come from a certain part of town. I don't want to separate it and say, oh, you got to be this or that to come to it. But I'm hoping that I could do something like that in the very near future. I know we need to help our young people, and arts is really a way to grab people. Young people love creative work. Mm-hmm. And creatives are out there. A lot of times you're not seen, and you probably think you're never going to get seen. So, you're going down another road. So at some point, I'd like to make the all call out to, okay, if you're tired of being in the gang, or if you're in the gang, you still want to come and bring your gang leader, but you're creative, we got a place that's opening up for you. Come and let's see what you have, because so much of our talent is untapped, and it comes from right in our community. So absolutely. I'd like to harness some of that and turn that into, the huge conglomeration, like the Gucci's and the Louis Vuitton, using our young people in our community who really kind of dictate what fashion is.
Absolutely. And that if you just pay attention to the colors, they definitely tap into to us. So Mr. Milhouse is listening, and I'm sure I'll be texting you later, because he heard you with this created because he's all about making certain that.
Hey, there are charter schools that hone in on agriculture, but I don't know if there's a charter school right now that is just for creatives, painters and designers and artists, just all artisans. Just and to design you have to know math. So of course you're going to get all those skills that you need. But a charter school for creatives would be
So that's technically STEM.
amazing.
So that's in our area. I like that. I didn't know that. I guess you do have to know math. That's why I just have ideas. And I'm like, here, let me share this idea with you. Because when you start to counting, I can't tell you how many times he says, babe, how much money is in your account? I'm like, it's negative again. I thought I had balance.
That's not my strong suit either. It's not. I'm embarrassed to say, but it's not.
Yeah, but thank God for the engineers of the world. That made me forget my next question because that's a very real thing. But that's a great idea, having a dedicated. Now, will your class this weekend that's starting, is that virtual or in person?
So they will actually be in person. We're going to be at a studio that's called 345 Art Gallery. There's a young man, he's a police officer, and he decided to take an old church and turn it into an art gallery. It is absolutely amazing. It's right on the heart of the West Side in an area that, of course, you'd want to ride down the street in an armored tank. But he's turned it into a beautiful studio, so I'm looking forward to actually to
That's
going
exciting.
there.
Do you have a
and
photographer
actually,
working?
we do have 2 spaces open. Unfortunately, you do have to live on the West Side, though. So there are 2 spaces open for anyone from the age of 14 to 24, and they could actually call the studio if they wanted to come.
Residency required to be on the West Side.
Right.
What studio number should we have them call?
312-808-8091.
You said that like it was a commercial. She's done this before.
Did I use my other voice on you?
Yeah, you went repeat that one more time. Let me
That would be 312-808-8091.
call. Or follow her on Instagram. You see her at Barbara_Bates and slide in her DM. I don't know that she'll answer you right away because
I've just learned how to do that. But I don't know how to answer them back, but I know how to look at it.
I will show you before you leave here today.
Okay.
So I have to ask you these questions because you are from the West Side, and I do this quiz with all Chicago guests.
All right.
It's my meter to determine if you're so Chicago.
Okay.
So shy.
All right.
Do you put salt and pepper or sugar on your grits, Barbara?
Yikes. Grits. Well, first of all, I'm not a big grit eater to begin with, but if I were going to put anything on it, would be salt and pepper. And I like to take whatever meat I'm using and crush it up and put that in there with the grits. But
Do you put the
sugar
egg
is so disgusting, but I know a lot of people that do that.
Do you put the
Eggs
egg in there too?
is fabulous.
Yeah, it is fabulous.
It's fabulous,
And a little
yeah.
Tabasco, Louisiana.
How can y'all mix it with the eggs with no sugar?
Because it
Sugar.
has the salt and pepper and the egg yolk and the me and nephew. Because he's a sugar and cheese
I
guy.
bet he puts ketchup on his hot dog too, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's my next question. Ketchup or mustard on your hot dog?
Mustard. There's no such thing as ketchup on a hot dog, lady.
When and if ever, because I don't think I've ever seen this in the history of knowing you, do you wear sneakers or gym shoes? If you had to wear 'em.
So to me, they're the same thing. Or is that
What would you call them?
Oh, I'm going to call it a sneaker.
Okay. I got that one. Do you drink
I really
soda?
call it a gym shoe, but the younger people call it a sneaker, and I'm still trying to stay relevant.
Okay. So
I'm a combo.
okay. Add fries. Do you drink soda or pop? Or when you did you drink? Did you
Pop?
Okay. I probably know this answer. Harold's Chicken or Uncle Remus?
Ooh. I don't believe in contests where you do one or the other because I don't like to do that.
Okay.
Both. I have to say both, yeah.
Look,
And
both for 200.
Yeah,
You said you're eating Harold's from 103rd and Halston. Do you shop at Jewel's or Jewel?
Jules.
When they open back up, are you going to go to the movies or the show?
The show.
Did you go to kindergarten or kindergarten?
Kindergarten.
Did you ever eat gyros or gyros?
Disgusting.
How many pennies make a dime?
10.
And what's the song? You know I got a lot of songs. You know I'm a Energizer Bunny. But what's the song that make you? What's that song? And in your first on your playlist?
Oh, I don't. I'm not. I'm a greedy man. I'm a greedy man. James Brown.
Oh, okay. And well, just know that this test, you are so shy. From the jewels to the expressway to the gym shoes that you now call sneakers.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. I would have to say, did you hear her say? Did you hear that, nephew? She was like, kindergarten. And then the trick question is, how many pennies make a dime? You said 10, because black people from Chicago say 10, not 10. But all y'all say 10. And they answered like,
10.
Somebody got so offended one day. They were like, 100? I'm like,
Big dummy.
you count like me. Not you're a greedy man. You're not smart man. New lyrics. Barbara, I am, again, I got some other ideas. I definitely am grateful that we're going to get Chris on the show.
Sure, most definitely.
So I feel like his experience can change the lives of some younger brothers.
I pray that.
Who need to hear it from him. Because
Yes.
when we say it,
It means zero. Right.
zilch. But having lived through that,
Right.
knowing what kind of stock you come from, changes that experience.
Right.
And he did a lot of time for something that probably he could have done the
Probation.
swap on the freeway and cleaned up the freeway.
Right, absolutely.
And learn the
Yeah.
and it happens often at that age, first year of college, when they're in small towns and they're from big cities. There's a lot of variables.
They wait on them in the small towns. They know that the city kids are coming there to disrupt, and so
Yeah.
that's how it goes.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Y'all stay tuned for that. I'm gonna get him in here and help him change our culture through his own life experience. And maybe that's what it was for, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, could have been.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Did y'all have any? Thank Melody. Melody Winston said, "Great show." Right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right. She is funny, right? Because she, I'm a greedy man. I don't know. Can we find that song? That's a first. And I heard a lot of songs,
And
Miss
that's
Barbara.
why I dug it up.
And then did the move. I'm a greedy man. I'm a greedy man. I said, did you see my face? I'm like, I'm trying to follow you. Come back over here. Hey, listen, I'm going to tell you two things, and then I'm going to let her get out of here because she did put clients to the side. But I can't leave here without telling you two things. Change is not a threat. It's an opportunity. Survival is not the goal. Transformative success is. That's a quote by Seth Godin. And the other thing that I need to tell you is about fashion, of course, because I'm over here still with a faux pas and here holding the pen. Because can I tell y'all a secret? Last week, Barbara was supposed to be here, and we had an issue here. And I had this outfit on. So when I called her and said, I am so sorry, you committed your time, but can we postpone this for next week? And she says yes.
Redo.
Didn't I tell you? She said, okay, no problem. Just let me know. I said, okay, let me call you back because I need to go home and take this outfit off so that I don't feel like I had it on really, so that in my mind, I won't
It's
be
fresh.
like wearing it twice.
Right, absolutely.
So, and I got so excited to put it back on today, the pen that goes here. So I even tried to staple it. Didn't I try to staple it? I was like, if I unzip this, can somebody stick the staple in there, click it like that? And they were like, yeah, that's not going to work. So I said, well, if y'all see me do this, it's because
You look beautiful. Nothing's hanging.
I
Nothing's falling out.
Okay, okay, I'm straight. Good. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you is fashion is the armor to survive the reality of everyday life, okay? Fashion is the armor to survive everyday life. Thank you for tuning in to the Book of Dawn, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. weekdays. Tomorrow we have Kennard Gibbs for the culture, Black media strategist and creator. What else? Oh, remember to lead with love. Use your voice and your impact to change somebody's life. Do something greater than yourselves for somebody other than yourself. We'll see you tomorrow on the next page of the Book of Dawn. And you know my baby went to Alabama, and I don't know if you understand the culture, but They say roll tide. You say good morning, they say roll tide. You say how you doing, they say roll tide. So at the end of every show, I say peace and roll tide, roll. We out of here.
WIIFTBP.
Baby,